Hey everyone, it's Van here, and welcome back to the channel. So recently, I've been looking for a chronograph watch under $100 that's somewhat good and has a pilot style. And fortunately for me, I stumbled across a Casio of all brands that looks really good and is only $50. So today I'm going to be giving you guys a review of the Casio pilot style chronograph. But before we get into this video, only a small percentage of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed, so if you end up liking this video, consider subscribing. It's free and you can unsubscribe anytime. Without further ado, let's get straight into this video. Okay, and here is the watch. Now, before we get too in-depth about this watch, let's talk about some of the dimensions. We have a case diameter of 43 millimeters, a case thickness of around 11 millimeters, and a lug width of surprisingly an odd 23 millimeters. So that makes it pretty hard to actually find a 23 millimeter strap to replace it. Although I'm sure you could find a 24 millimeter leather or NATO strap and just kind of fit it in there real snug. So onto the dial of this watch. As you can see, the second hand is actually stuck at the 12 o'clock position until you start the timer, which I love because sometimes on chronographs, the second hand is ticking the whole time, and then when you press the button on the side, it'll just start the sub-dial. But I love this because, watch, if you press the pusher on the top, it will actually start the chronograph on the second hand. One more thing I love about the second hand feature is when you press reset, gives you that nice flyback all the way to the 12 o'clock position. So you're probably wondering what the sub-dials do. So the sub-dial at the 12 o'clock position will count the minutes, the one at 6 o'clock will count the seconds, and the one at 9 o'clock will actually count the hours. And this chronograph will run up to 12 hours, which is pretty good in my opinion. Sometimes chronographs only go up to 1 hour, but I think this 12-hour chronograph is really useful. We have a slide rule bezel, and if you don't know what a slide rule bezel is, it's not like a diver watch where you twist it and it has 90 clicks or 120 clicks. This one simply just kind of slides, and it has a nice resistance to it. It can go both ways, not just one direction. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've seen a lot of slide rule bezels, but with this one, I honestly don't know how to use it. I mean, I've looked up several tutorials on slide rule bezels, and they all look different from this one. If you guys actually know how this slide rule bezel works, please let me know in the comments below. Crown on the side, no fancy engravement or nothing. You pull it out, feels pretty sturdy. It's not very flimsy, that's good. Pretty good quality crown. The pushers on the side, when you press them, they make a nice little clicking noise. Now this is a quartz chronograph, it's not mechanical, so it doesn't feel as good as a mechanical chronograph would, but I'd say it feels pretty good, to be honest. Now I mentioned this is a 43 millimeter diameter, but it actually fits quite well. It fits almost like a 40 or a 41 on my 6.5-inch wrist. It's not too clunky, it has a great thickness. Honestly, it fits my wrist perfectly. Onto the bracelet of the watch. Unfortunately, we have a folded over metal type of bracelet, although it doesn't look that cheap and crappy from the side. It looks pretty good, but then once you go to the underside, you can tell it's kind of hollowed out. Doesn't sound very good. Sounds very flimsy. I am actually looking for a NATO strap to put on this, maybe a blue and orange NATO strap. On the clasp, we have 4 micro adjustment holes. I've put mine on the third one, and it fits perfectly. I took out about 4 or 5 links, I believe, and it just fits perfectly, and it's doing me well. On the actual clasp of the watch, we have a bead blast or sand blast, whatever you guys want to call it, type of texture. It's kind of matte. It looks pretty good. It's not too shiny. It's not brushed. It just looks pretty good. On the back of the clasp, we have an engraved Casio logo, and to undo the clasp, there's 2 buttons on the side. You just push those, and it comes out. On the case back of this watch, nothing fancy, just kind of a little bit of engravement with the serial number. Unfortunately, there is no solid end links. They are hollow, but they've been doing me pretty good. They're not making any noises. They're pretty durable for hollow end links. And you can also see on the clasp on this watch, it scratches pretty easily. It's not some crazy good quality stainless steel or nothing. It's pretty cheap, scratches easily, but then again, it's a $50 Casio. What are you gonna do? And the Lume Shot on this watch is very good. It's very brilliant. There's no fancy blue or nothing. It's just kind of a green, but in person, it's very luminous and you can see it at night very well. All right, one more thing I forgot to mention, this watch is 50 meters waterproof resistance. So basically, you can't swim 50 meters deep for it, but it is suitable for maybe a bath or a shower or just washing your hands. I wouldn't recommend swimming with it, honestly. And there you guys have it. That was the review of the Casio Pilot Style Chronograph. If I was going to give this watch a rating 1 through 10, I'd have to give it a good 8 out of 10. I would have liked to see a Mecha quartz movement instead of just a regular quartz movement, but for a $50 chronograph, it's pretty good. They could have added a better bracelet to the watch in general, maybe just a better solid stainless steel bracelet. Instead they have folded over stainless steel. Other than that, this watch is a perfect first chronograph for you if you're looking for a chronograph under $100. But that is going to be it for today, guys. So if you did enjoy, please leave a big thumbs up on this video, as well as sharing your thoughts and comments in the comments below. And if you did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to this small growing channel. Of course, the link where you can buy this watch will be in the description below, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, everyone.